Hey guys, this is Vincent, and today I'm going to show you a voice tutorial about magnetism. So basically, what is magnetism? Magnetism is considered the first cousin of electricity, for they are very much related. Electromagnetism is the part of physics that deals with the relationship between electricity and magnetism. The origin of electricity and magnetism sprang from ancient men's curiosity over the ability of two materials, amber and lodestone, to attract other materials. From amber comes the word electricity. Magnetism is a term used to refer to the ability of lodestones to attract iron. A material having this property is called a magnet. The modern name for lodestone or magnetic iron is magnetite. Lodestone literally means wayfinding stone. When suspended freely, one end of a lodestone always points north and the other end points south. This suspended lodestone is the first compass. The Chinese were making use of it as a navigational tool in the 11th century or even earlier. Today, magnetism is used in common fixtures, advanced technologies, research, and even in medicine. At home, we can enumerate some items using magnets: the magnetic memo holder, washing machine, refrigerator, electric fans, and loudspeakers. Magnetic oscillator, called magnetron, is a constituent in our microwave ovens. Magnetic levitation is used in transportation. Parts of our body may be pictured and diagnosed using MRI. The Earth's past is being studied employing the techniques of paleomagnetism. Classification of magnets. Magnets may be natural or artificial. Natural magnets are found in nature and are called lodestones or magnetite. Man uses a magnetic substance to make artificial magnets. A magnetic substance is one that is attracted by a magnet and can therefore be magnetized. Examples are iron, steel, and cobalt. Non-magnetic materials are not attracted by magnets and cannot be made into magnets. Examples are wood, paper, and glass. Artificial magnets, as I have said, are man-made, therefore they may be temporary or permanent. There are three most common shapes of artificial magnets. The first one is a bar magnet, second, horseshoe, and the third one is a ring magnet. The bar magnet is mostly used in schools to study magnetic properties, the ring magnet in computer memory cores and speakers, and the horseshoe magnet in electronic and electrical equipments. Magnetic poles. There are two poles in a magnet. The first one is the north-seeking pole, or the North Pole. The second is south-seeking pole, or the South Pole. On these poles, magnetic field is stronger. Like poles repel, and unlike poles attract. Therefore, North Pole attracts to South Pole and vice versa, and North Pole repels to North Pole, and South Pole repels to South Pole. Types of magnetism. There are several types of magnetism, which are ferromagnetism, paramagnetism, and diamagnetism. Ferromagnetic materials are strongly attracted by a magnet. They include iron, cobalt, steel, nickel. In ferromagnetic materials, all electrons are spinning in the same direction. These materials make strong permanent magnets. When heated to a sufficiently high temperature, ferromagnetic materials lose their magnetic properties. The temperature at which a magnetic material loses its magnetism is called Curie temperature. The Curie temperature for iron is 770 degrees Celsius. The next one is a paramagnetism. Paramagnetic materials include the transition metals, palladium, platinum, and the actinide elements. Majority of the electrons spin in the same direction, but not all. They are weakly attracted to magnets. When cooled, paramagnetic materials become more magnetic. The last one is diamagnetism. It is a weak response to magnetic field. Therefore, they do not attract to magnets at all, namely wood, glass, and some papers. Metals like bismuth, copper, gold, silver, and lead nonmetals, water, and organic compounds are diamagnetic too. All substances, in fact, have inherited diamagnetism. Diamagnetism is independent of temperature. Geomagnetism. What is geomagnetism? Simple, it's just the Earth's magnetic field. It was discovered by William Gilbert in 1600 when he conducted experiments and concluded that a compass needle aligns itself consistently in the ns direction because Earth itself is a huge magnet. Earth's rotation produces moving charged particles within it, which in turn produces magnetic field. There are two kinds of north of the Earth. The first one is a geomagnetic north, which is a complete 90-degree angle perpendicular to the Earth. The second one is a magnetic north, which is quite slanted. A compass always points to the magnetic north. Currently, the magnetic north is at North Canada. This is the formula on how to get the magnetic force between two poles. F is the magnetic force in newtons. K is the magnetic constant, which is 10 raised to negative 7. M1 and M2 are the magnetic poles. D squared is the distance between two poles, squared. Magnetic field. A magnetic field is the area that surrounds a magnet. When a magnetic substance enters a magnetic field of a certain magnet, it gets attracted. As it gets closer to the magnet, the magnetic force increases. The formula for magnetic field is B, which is magnetic field, is equals to F, which is the force, over QV, charge times velocity. If there's an angle, times the charge, velocity, and sine theta. Magnetic flux. The number of lines of force is called the magnetic flux. Its unit is the Weber. Flux per unit area perpendicular to the field is called the magnetic field intensity. The SI unit for magnetic field intensity is the Tesla, named after Nikola Tesla. A letter T denotes the unit Tesla. B is equals to flux over A is another formula for magnetic field. Deriving it for the formula of magnetic flux is magnetic field times the area. The last one is electromagnetic induction. This is only the process by which a changing magnetic flux produces electric current. The current and the EMF produced are called induced current and induced EMF respectively. So that's all, and thanks for watching this video. Hope you learned something new, or shall I say no, for my fellow classmates. And God bless you all, and good luck for college.